So if you with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Because we're going to go ahead and move on to the last topic of the day. The number one belief that is holding you back from winning with Bedros Keuilian. I rock with Bedros Keuilian. You know, he talks about being being in that, in your, being a man, stepping up to the plate, or just being better overall as a person. I feel like, you know, he gives a lot of good things, and today he's going to break down some of the biggest lies that we tell ourselves, a lot of the false beliefs that we tell ourselves, and it's holding us back. And then he's going to help us rewrite ourselves into becoming the person that we want to become. So let's go ahead and get right on into this video and end this thing on out on a good note, on some things that we can take away to better ourselves, because that's what's important at the end of the day, is bettering ourselves. Let's get into it.
What's the number one belief that people have about themselves that is holding them back from success, and how can they change it?
Bro, I think the number one belief that people have about themselves, which is also a false belief, is whatever bullshit story either they've told themselves or they've been told by others about themselves. So maybe someone said as when you're a kid, oh, you're clumsy, or you're big boned and have bad genetics and you're fat, or you've never been that intelligent, you know, you're never good at math, you're never good at, or you're shy. So they grow up and they carry that belief system. And it's like carrying an anchor tied to your leg. So now if you are carrying an anchor that's tied to your leg because you have this false belief system about yourself that someone told you. And guess what? Maybe as a kid you were shy. Maybe as a kid you were clumsy. Maybe as a kid you were chunky. All right. Here's what's cool about the human body and the human mind. It's pliable. You can become anybody and anything you want with the right amount of work. Hey, there's some people that are genetically gifted and they're going to get there faster. They're more intelligent. They just understand things faster. They're more coordinated. They have the genetics to burn fat and build muscle. But then the rest of us just have to work harder, right? So you can change your story, but it's the story that people believe about themselves that then they create this whole belief system. Like, I'm clumsy. I'm supposed to be broke. I'm supposed to be blue collar. I have a learning disability. I've always been chunky, so I'm always going to stay chunky. No, man, you're just going to have to diet harder and train harder and figure out a set of macros that work for you. But when we have this false narrative that we believe about ourselves, it is like an anchor tied to your leg. Now, if you got the anchor and I don't, and we're about to have a 50-yard race, a running race, guess what? I'm going to win every time because you've got a 100-pound anchor tied to your leg. That is the equivalent of a false belief system, a story that you tell yourself that is untrue, that creates a false identity of, you start feeling like this is who I am. I'm unlovable, I'm broken, I'm not capable, no one wants me, just because you've either experienced that in the past, you've been rejected, you've been hurt, you've dealt with look, man, I was fucking molested by 2 older boys as a kid. Then I come to America after we escaped the Soviet Union, and I'm bullied and beat up by gang members, right? Living in Section 8 housing. I grew up blue collar, like fucking worse than blue collar. I grew up broke and like fucking government assisted housing. I wore hand-me-down clothes. We found fucking shit in the dumpsters that we would take home and use, like a mattress and a broken up TV and whatever. So I share this with you because if my old belief system carried all the way to where I am today, I'd never be a multimillionaire. I'd never be sitting behind this microphone. I'd never have published a book. I'd never have created Fit Body Boot Camp. And I would never have done all the things that I did. I had to shed my old belief system, my old story, adopt a new identity. And I was like, all right, who do I want to be? You know what? I want to be financially free. I want to be fit. I want to be well-versed in terms of communication. English is a second language for me, bro. So if I said like, look, I'm a foreigner, an immigrant who's got this accent, who doesn't even know English, I had to learn the language and then get rid of the accent and then overcome the emotional scars that being molested leaves on you, that getting beat up by gang members in Section 8 housing leaves on you, and then re-identify, like you'll recreate an identity and then launch into life with that new identity. I'm fit, I'm athletic, I can do whatever I want, I can communicate now, I've lost my accent, I can develop and build charisma and confidence. I did all those things. Like, I literally built myself into the version of the man that I am. And so whatever your story is, it will create a belief system. The good news is you can rewrite your story, but it takes work. We rewrite our story by first identifying who do I want to become, and then doing the work, eating the food, lifting the weights, running the miles, reading the books, hiring the coaches, learning the behaviors and emotional disciplines and mental thought processes to become that person. And when you do, you've got a new belief system. And that new belief system is, I'm capable of doing whatever the fuck I want and achieving whatever the fuck I want in life. And therefore, I become unstoppable. So that's the one thing holding people back is their belief system. Is their story that they tell themselves. They don't realize that they can rewrite that story, create a new identity, and then live a life that's completely different than this mediocre peasant fucking beat up life that they're living now. Hey guys, quick interruption to the show.
Boy, that right there, y'all can't tell me y'all just didn't get something from that. Y'all cannot tell me y'all did not get something from that, man. I remember when I figured what he was saying out. I remember when I figured that out, and it changed my life, literally. I remember, being in high school, I'm a totally different person than I was in high school. Totally different. I used to be kind of shy, awkward, all that stuff. Half the stuff I'm doing today, heck no. I would never even seen myself doing. Because that just wasn't the person I was. Like, I was shy. I still remember me being that fat kid. Even and I wasn't fat in high school, but in middle school, I was still carrying that fat kid identity with me through high school. Things about myself I didn't like. All that stuff. And I remember that was the person that I was. That's the person who I was. And I literally got tired of it and said I'm going to change it. And that's what I did. I'm not the same person at all. And you don't have to be the same person either. That's why I tell people I'm not the same person that y'all think I used to be. Even from college, I tell them I'm not the same person you think I used to be. At all. 100%. Why? Because I literally took what he said, what Bedros Keuilian said, and ran with it. Ran with it. This is who I am now. This is who I want to be. You can say whatever you want to say. I don't care what you say about me. I've been called the coon. People still want to say the N-word to me and all this other stuff. I tell them, no, I don't rock with that. But all that stuff people put on you, all them labels people put on you, that's not who you are. You are who you want to be. You are exactly who you want to be. At the beginning and end of the day, you're exactly who you want to be. It's all about the work you put in to become that person. There are things that successful people do every single day. And 9 times out of 10, if you do those same things every single day, you will be successful as well. You just have to become that person. You have to become that person. Now, I am somebody who's financially responsible. I am somebody who's financially literate. I am somebody who budgets. That's who I am. And I've put the systems in place to become that person. That's just straight up. I can even go on the relationship side of things. I am somebody who's faithful in my relationship. You feel me? You have to put in the work for that. I am somebody who wants to be married. So you have to put in the work for that. In any facet of life, there's going to be a point in time where you have to become the person that you want to be. And it's going to be hard work to do it. Hard work to do it. It's not going to be easy. It is easier said than done. I will promise you that. It is easier said than done. I've made plenty of mistakes in my relationship, but I'm working hard to change those. I've made plenty of mistakes in life. Go back and I have probably like one of my first videos on this channel, my fumble in the bag video. I'm not that same person at all. 100% not that person. And that was hard work to change that. Hard work to change that. So, Bedros Keuilian, hey, shouts out to you for that advice. And I would say, like he said, don't let your past hold you back neither. Because your past, everyone says your past will define you. Forget that. You need to let that go yourself. Let it go yourself. Move on. Become that person you want to be, man. This video not over though, so we're gonna continue.
Are.
Yeah.
But then write down, like literally design the man or woman you want to be, and then just do the steps to become it. But like, maybe it just sounds too simple. Like
that's it. That's what people do.
Yeah.
They go, this can't be true. It sounds too simple. Yeah. Let me tell you how simple it is. I looked at Jim Franco and I was like, Jim Franco was one of my first personal training clients when I was broke. Like around the time that I met him, I had just kind of gotten past the phase of life where I was working at Oz, the gay club, as a bouncer. And just months before working at Oz, I lived in my Toyota pickup for about 3 months because I used my money, the last of my rent money, to buy more supplements for this supplement business that I had started that had failed completely. So my identity was, at the time, the story that I told myself is, I'm not meant to be an entrepreneur. I tried, I failed, I lost money, I ended up living in my Toyota pickup, finally got back on my feet. Now I'm a personal trainer. Jim Franco was client number 4, personal training client number 4. And because I didn't have enough personal training clients, I also had a job as a bouncer at a gay bar and a dinner cook and busboy at Disneyland, a Carnation Cafe, right? Had to have multiple jobs to make ends meet. That was the identity that I had. And then once I saw Jim Franco pull up with like 3 different cars in 1 week for his workout, I was like, let me just, hey, Jim, why do you have 3 different cars? And they're all like nice cars, a classic car, a sports car, and a Cadillac Escalade. He's like, you can have as many cars as you want, kid. And that's how he talked to me, kid, right? And I was like, note to self, I can have as many cars as I want. I was like, hey, Jim, you show up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon 3 times a week. Like, are you retired? No, man, I'm the boss. I run my own company. I've got leaders and systems in place. And so I come in from 8:30 to 2 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon. In fact, when we went and we did that vlog, right, he's still on the same schedule, 8:30 to 2. He's 81 years old and he works by choice in his multi-million-dollar company. I'm like, check, let me write that down. 2 o'clock is when I want to be off, right? Because at the time, I modeled myself after Jim Franco. So much so that years later, I ended up buying a Nissan GTR, not knowing that he had one because we hadn't seen each other for a while. And then when I reached out to him one day and I'm like, hey, come over here, I want to put you on my show, the Empire show. He rolls up in a fucking Nissan GTR. Like I started to operate, my brain started to operate like Jim Franco so much that I went out with the first like large amount of money that I made and I wanted to buy myself a gift. I bought myself a Nissan GTR. That was my first $100,000 car, like my first 6-figure car. And so I share that with you because I just archetyped myself after Jim Franco. And then as I got older, I'm like, wait a minute. I think I actually want some more time off than Jim Franco. And I think if I get some stronger leaders, I can actually take a couple days a week off in addition to weekends if I want, and I can go surf. But I need to have great leaders. I need to be great at communicating because my biggest job is to be behind this microphone, communicate, orate, inspire, give you marching orders, tell you how you can get there and become the 2.0 version of yourself. And so I was like, all right, these are the things I want my life to look like. I want to do podcasts. I want to do Q&As like this. I want to make big, high-level decisions, but I don't want to be in the weeds. And so I'm going to get leaders. I'm going to give them equity. Like I watched like what all the great CEOs out there are doing. They're giving equity to their great leaders so they can handcuff them to the business. And I was like, now, how do I want my body to look? How do I want my time with my family to look? Literally write it down. It sounds that simple. And then go, what would this guy do now? Well, he'd probably wake up at this time if he's going to do this. He'd probably eat this if he wants abs. He probably works out like this if he wants to be fast and broad shoulders and big fucking traps. Okay, what else? Well, if he wants to be a good orator, he's probably going to take some comedy classes and improv classes and Toastmasters and learn to speak and orate. Okay, so I did. I hired a coach. I got all the education. I went to the things. It's simple. Design, like archetype your ideal man or woman, and then go, what would they eat, drink, do, think, operate like? I even started doing shit like, where do they not go? Oh, they don't go to weddings and funerals of people that they haven't seen for a long time because they're no longer part of that friendship group. So why waste time? Oh, they don't party on weekends. They stay dialed in so that when Monday comes, they're fucking attacking a Monday. All right. So what am I not going to do? I'm not going to party. I'm not going to go to these goofy birthday parties where I feel awkward and I don't want to be there. And I'm thinking about business and creative things that I want to do. I stopped doing what that man would not, you know what I mean? Like what would that man do? How would his life look? Oh, he'd go to sleep at 10 p.m. He'd wake up at 5:30 in the morning. What else? And so everything that man would and wouldn't do, I just lived by it. And then you become that guy. It's that simple. But the human brain wants to complicate it so much and go, obviously it's much harder than that. Certainly it can't be that easy, Pedros. It's actually that easy. And when you complicate it, you end up fucking it all up.
And there y'all go. There y'all go. I had to let that video get all the way to the end because he actually explains writing down the person that you want to be. You have to think about it, y'all. You literally have to think about it. You just can't up in the air it. You can't up in the air it. I know for me, the one place that I need, that I feel right now, the one place is I need to say I'm somebody who's fit. Because I am not fit right now. I'm not fit right now. I'm letting everything else get in the way and do all that stuff. Like, I keep letting stuff get in the way of me becoming fit. I need to sit down and write. What does a fit person do? A fit person eats healthy, first off. Let's be real. Like they say, that's the number one part. Steve don't be eating healthy, especially lately. I used to. Right now, heck no. I probably have not been eating healthy for a little while. Eat out about every day. I'm not cooking. None of that. And I'm not going to the healthiest places to eat and dine neither. I'm just, whatever. It's cool. And a healthy person would also, get some exercise in. I need to do that as well. Since I've been home, I probably went to the gym about once or twice. I need to start bringing sexy back. That's why I need to become sexy back again. But I need to stay with it, and there's consistency. I love when people say it is that easy, it is that easy, but it's not that easy. You need to set up systems over the goals. Like, write the goals down, but then you have to set up systems behind it so that you can accomplish that goal. The systems I have behind me being the richest Steve in Atlanta and Stevie Steve, Steve versus World, all those systems that I had set up for that, those systems have been working because I actually set up systems for them, and staying consistent with it. I have things already set up for me that speeds it up. All this stuff. The systems behind becoming the person that you want to be is the most important thing. I feel like this is a first step. Bedros Keuilian gave us a first step, but I would go even further to say that your habits that you're setting up also matter. So make sure that y'all are setting these systems up. That will give you that will make you be constant. You'll have consistency from that. That'll help you in your hard times get through things. Because there's going to be times when you want to stop. It's going to be times when you I just want to call it quits. The systems you have up will help you get to there, man. I hope y'all gained something from that video. So if you with me, make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment.